My, oh my, Ajayi. It's the coach, and you're watching Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Jay Ajayi, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Redskins. With that, we'll get up to FedEx Field for the Washington home opener. Standing by, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just a few moments ago, it was the Redskin defense being introduced, and the largest cheers went for their Pro Bowl quarterback, Josh Norman, as he and his guys get set to do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they enter play here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You've got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
I think one of the things that attracted people to Alex Smith initially was his mobility, and that's never changed. That guy's a great athlete, but he's so sharp with the football, so accurate, and takes care of it so well. He rarely puts his team in bad situations.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. A shotgun snap for Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cummings. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll run with Thompson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. To throw is Smith. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jordan Hicks in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. From the gun, here's Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. Let's just take it around the 12. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
That's straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Now Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 15 carries, 105 yards.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get to play action and throw the ball deep later on.
Wentz now on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage. Here's a look at the starters defensively for Washington. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Working from the gun, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. 18 yards there and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Wins to throw on second down. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. An Eagle first down there. Wins to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On second down, here's Wentz. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Jonathan Allen in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. This is caught. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you don't want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. That touchdown certainly a welcome sight. Remember, they were shut out last week. They talked to us about getting early momentum. Well, here you go in the opening quarter.
You got to rebuild confidence because when you get shut out, I don't care how strong you are mentally, you've got to take a step back and say, okay, what just happened here? Because nothing that we were doing worked well enough to get into the end zone. And that's a nice confidence-building drive, one that puts it in the end zone to give them an opportunity.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
First carry for Darius Geis. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Completes it right side to Dodson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
That defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They'll begin the drive with a jive. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On first down, Wentz. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Kevin Pierre-Louis. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job while they keep that.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved. Yeah. You know, you learned how to play it the Madden way.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
You see Thompson's numbers from a week ago. 18 carries, 55 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Cummings. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, they had great field position to start. But, boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Former fourth-round pick out of Duke is Jamison Crowder. Now, he doesn't grab a lot of headlines, but he's been quietly dependable for his first 3 years in the league. Shifty, excellent route runner from the slot position, finds his way open, and catches the football. Yeah, he's dependable. Quarterbacks love to throw to him.
Geis with a carry on second down. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little...
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. They're right around the middle of the pack, number 15 in the NFL against the run.
And being able to set the tone early in this game, because when you get down to it, it's that sign that we saw in their football facility when we visited with them. The one that said no explosives, no big plays, no chunk plays. That's what they've got to take care of.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 6-0 is our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
Let's go, go. Get by, lady. I said.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And Janikowski bangs it through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll start out on the ground with a dive. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get in that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Wentz now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wentz being chased out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Zach Brown able to drop him for a loss of 4. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. The Eagles send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash,
Super toe. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for the Redskins on 3rd down. 46 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing.
Now the ball comes loose, and the Eagles have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On second down, here's Smith. He's got his man on the crossing route. Smith finding Doxson that time for a Washington first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Now Thompson. Stops shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll hand it down to Geis. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Play action. It's Smith. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Wentz. He hits his running back, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder, at halftime we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. The Eagles on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead him to 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now Smith, leaping, and he makes the grab. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Clock running as the Redskins try to hurry up. Looking to throw on second down. Smith got his man complete over the middle. It's Cummings. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. On first down, Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. To the air again. Smear, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The Redskins on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Smith. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A shotgun snap for Smith. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when they're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at the 3. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start with 2 teams that are used to being linked on Thanksgiving. Detroit visiting Dallas. And in the late stages of the first half, it's the Lions who are out in front. Golden Tate, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And you can see there, it's the visiting L.A. Rams who have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Chris Godwin, a touchdown reception. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This is taken at his 4. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because Now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Lynch 5-3, Lynch 5-3. Two-jet.
On play action, it's Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To throw, it's Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Here's Wentz to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Wentz. Aguilar has it. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. They had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Wentz going to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Rip. Nice win.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, it's Wentz. He'll buy some time right. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And just shutting him off there. That one 28 yards on the ground.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
They run it here with Thompson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Smith now to throw. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Paul Richardson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Redskins have tied it here. The extra point to come can put him in the driver's seat. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The target there, Mac Hollins. And it's third down.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
Fighting through pressure. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Wentz now on first down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Wentz to throw on second down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. On second down, here's Wentz. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Drops it off to Ajayi. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They go play action here on first down. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Jonathan Allen in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 36-yard line here. 8 yards here, so that gets them back within striking distance. And now it's third down.
Hang in there now.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. First down for Philly. Wentz on target to Hollins.
Hang in there now. Hang in there.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's up 2nd and 6.
46 down, man. 5-4.
Wentz now to throw. He shakes him off, and he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's got the first down inside the 10. And Jeffrey's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
His throw incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. He'll get it up the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Throwing is Wentz. Flush to his right, and he will get into the end zone for the 2 points, and that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cummings. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catches. Hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then curls back inside for the completion.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. From the 50, it's Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Thompson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. Or tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra play.
This is intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with during a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And out now come the Eagles. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Caught by the tight end Ertz. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Alex Smith in the offense heading out for their next possession. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. To throw on second down is Smith. Out to the left, it's complete to Dynasty. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And that is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Smith to throw again. Got a man, that's Quinn. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. Not quite 50 back here. And this one's going to go 4th down.
Brandon, one thing about will end up making the play.
Will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't.
A run, it's Clement. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd.
Because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about the 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Throw left side complete. That's Thompson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. On 1st down, it's Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's got some space here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off. some of the most unselfish players on any football team? Defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. The Redskins on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Smith. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and this is back down to a 7-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a 1-possession game. This one not fully over yet. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Shorty, shorty, shorty.
This is Clement. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game.
Come on now, Oaks. Come on now. Let's go. Down, man, 5-4.
Wins to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run with Clement. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They'll look to set up his blockers. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jordan Hicks in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. He's back to throw. Shedding through the defense. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Cummings. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going on the field, but okay, I see you. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jordan Hicks in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And he'll spike it with 16 seconds remaining. And incomplete here. So that will leave him with 16 on the clock. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are likely going to win it.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Philadelphia, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers.